Yo, 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 what's going on? This is your boy, Kuya P, NRW, Nerds Rule the World, back with a long overdue AAPI Toy Heroes. This is episode 3. We are going to be unboxing the Marvel Legends Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness Wong figure, Marvel's Wong. And I have a special guest coming back already. He did what, episode 1, episode 2? Well, actually, episode 0, episode 1. Now, episode 2, my man, Keith Chow of the Nerds of Color. How are you, Keith?
What's up, Wongers?
Wongers! Yo, and that's why I wanted to kind of do this one. Shout out to my boy, Keith. He, again, dope with the Nerds of Color stuff. We actually just got done. Finally, I made an appearance on the amazing Southern Fried Asians podcast. Go check out all the previous episodes. But he had me in to do an episode, and I was like, hey, bro, can we get API Toy Heroes out? I haven't done one in a minute. So can we kind of capitalize on the time? And he gave me his blessing. And so thank you, brother, for honoring me with another appearance on this. Again, we talk toys. That's kind of like your thing anyway. So
yeah, that is my thing. In fact, since you're opening an Asian American Marvel Legend, maybe I will too.
Hey, shout out. You got the Spider-Man Homecoming with Jacob Batalon, and
yeah, of course, maybe I'll just open Ned. I won't even take Peter out.
Yo, I just noticed. Yeah, I just noticed. Remember last episode we were talking how they were gonna go away from the plastic.
Yeah, that's right. This is the no window. I mean, it's cool, like environmentally and everything, but like.
You can't see it.
You're kind of at the mercy of what's inside, because if the paint sucks,
it could be a piece of sticks. It could be anything inside.
Yeah, it could be figures. Someone could have swapped it out. Although I checked the tape, make sure the tape wasn't broken, because at this point you could swap out whatever.
Would this be your first time opening one that you didn't see? Now that
this is my first time with a non-window box.
Oh my gosh! Oh, cool! So great! This is gonna be amazing content. Because I'm curious as fuck too about that, right? Because we talked on it last episode. It's leaving it by chance. Because sometimes I don't know about you, but you're like me. We inspect it. I inspect the packaging. I inspect the figure. Like I'll look at another figure. Oh, the paint on this one looks better. There's all of that. Because you want a crispy, good figure, and
yeah. No, in fact, it's been so long since you did an AAPI Toy Heroes. The last time we were on, they announced this shit, and now I have it in hand. That's how long it's been.
He does, and I need to order that because I have to open, but Ned for myself. But we'll already knock that out with Keith opening up his Ned, so I'm excited. Dude. So we're gonna knock out Ned in Homecoming, but first let's do Marvel Legends Wong again. You already have this figure, right?
I do have him.
You unbox him. Yep. What do you think of this release? Let's talk about it.
I mean, it was overdue. I've been wanting to have a Wong for the collection, just because, I mean, Benedict Wong, I mean, particularly like this phase of the Marvel Universe, I feel like he's the glue holding it all together, because he's been the Nick Fury of this phase, right? Because he's in She-Hulk, he's in Doctor Strange, he's in Spider-Man, he's in Shang-Chi, he was in Infinity War. Like, he's just kind of been in all the movies, and he's, I was actually talking about this on the most recent Hard Knock Life. It's kind of cool that Wong, because if you think about Wong in the comic books, right? Like the origins of Wong in the comics, he's a really fucked up, stereotypical racist caricature, right? He's the subservient manservant to the white hero. And, you could argue Doctor Strange probably shouldn't be considered white until he became white, right? Like the original Doctor Strange. I remember Kurt Busiek had this whole Twitter thread many years ago that, like, if you look at the way they drew Doctor Strange back in the day, I think, was it Ditko? Or was it
Ditko,
Kirby?
Yeah, because I think Ditko kind of created him, I believe.
When Ditko drew him, he drew Doctor Strange the way he drew other Asian characters back in the day. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it wouldn't have been a stretch to cast an Asian American as Doctor Strange. So he wouldn't be another. It's like the Iron Fist thing. The white guy goes to Asia to become the best Asian. So anyway, it's a long-winded way of me saying, like, I kind of appreciate the way they took Wong, and instead of making him the subservient character, he's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
Like, and they in Doctor Strange 2, they could have been like, well, now that Strange is back, but now he's like, no, I'm still the boss, and he's the one showing up in all these other things. that's kind of dope. I like that. Like Wong can be considered one of the top tier A-list Avengers.
Completely agree, brother.
In the MCU.
Hell yeah. And just knocking it out the box right now. We're coming off of the heels of episode 4 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which featured Wong prominently. I know you all did a recap on Hard Knock Life as well. We've been dropping reviews after each episode here at the NRW. How are you loving Wong in the She-Hulk series, and just giving us a little bit more, and just kind of, again, kind of breaking what I love. I don't know about you, because there's a lot of hubbub again about She-Hulk online from people that claim to be fanboys, but they're not. She-Hulk is, to me, pitch perfect, exactly what you expect from the comic book. So if you're a fan of the comic book, you should love the series, and I am loving it. I am loving what we're getting from Wong. We're seeing a whole nother side of Wong, and in this latest episode, and what provokes me to pull this out the pile of episodes that we're going to do of AAPI Toy Heroes was he made an amazing appearance, and we get this kind of sidebar character in Madison, spelled with 2 N's, but the Y is somewhere else. But not where you
think.
I thought that was brilliant, and now there was like memes and posters of everybody wanting. Everybody, like myself included, was wanting like a Wong spinoff. I don't know about you, but now like maybe even a Madison and Wong, because they're like,
well, it's definitely like this is what we talked about on Hard Knock, right? Like a lot of folks ship Madison and Wong and talk about like, breaking stereotypes and kind of like subverting how, Asian men are portrayed in media. Like the fact that someone ships someone with Wong is kind of cool. I actually like, what's cool about that whole reveal that like, he watches The Sopranos or whatever is like, that's not out of character for the way he's been portrayed in the MCU. If you think about it, the first time you meet him, even in the first Doctor Strange movie, what's he doing? He's listening to Beyonce on his iPod while Strange is like up to shenanigans in the back, right? And like that was kind of the joke, but it's kind of like, I just love the fact that Wong is like a regular dude, and he's not just kind of like fortune cookie speaking, mysterious whatever, and he's just like a regular dude, that he's singing karaoke with Shang-Chi and Aquafina, you know what I'm saying? Like that aspect of Wong has been there from the beginning. So I don't know if there's any chatter online about like they're not being true to the Wong. I think it's dope that they're making, and Benedict Wong's like approach to the character is, he's probably the best character in the MCU right now. Completely agree. I'm just loving what they're doing, and as this being AAPI Toy Heroes and as Asian American, and we always talk about representation. It's on the forefront of our minds as creators, and especially in this medium. I adore and love what they're doing. So definitely why I wanted to pull this out. I wasn't going to make it this episode yet early on, but this is episode 2, AAPI Toy Heroes, and we're going to just check this out. As I said in previous episodes, I'm a fan of the packaging. We'll break this down now a little bit. What do you think? I don't think you concentrated on too much, I think is what you said like last episode, but I think the box art we get to see, on the sides. So like if you weren't unboxing it and you had a rack of them, you could see it on the side, know what character you're pulling out. Just I think good job, and then a good breakdown of the character on the back, Marvel's Wong. But what I would like to see is why can't we add the Sorcerer Supreme there? I will say that because he is our Sorcerer Supreme. We know that in this right now. You just had to do Marvel's Wong. So I'm a little upset about that. He's our Sorcerer Supreme. What do you think about that? Yeah, no, I mean, hopefully he gets to keep that title for perpetuity. But I'm not too bothered by it. Like I said, the packaging is just the trash between me and
to get to the figure. So. All right, so this line also part of, again, the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is where we got this one, and it's a Build-A-Figure series. You're getting what's this character's name for the? I know
he's the Green Bull. It should be on the top.
Oh, so just one of the people that lives, that we saw in the background.
Camertage, right? He was in the background.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which was like, that was kind of cool because when they announced the figure line, it was before the movie, and I just thought, a lot of times the Build-A-Figure is a comic figure, and that's not related to the movie at all. But it was kind of cool that this was even a background character in the movie because, when you see the film itself, like there's this green bull in the back, and you're like,
I kind of noticed.
What's his story? Why is he not more prominent in this movie? But
so really cool, kind of helps you build out your camouflage, if I'm saying that right. But so you get in this one, you get another fist, an arm, And then some other hands. You can have the power effects, the spell effects from Wong on here. But overall, cool look in the packaging. Let's go ahead and take it out. All right. So you cracked it open. So your thoughts when you cracked it open, your feel of the figure, brother. And actually, let me make sure I'm doing this in front of my camera, so y'all will see this doing something better than the last time we recorded. So
yeah, I mean, I got him with the magic effects, so you can check that out.
There we go. Nice.
That's what he looks like with the magic effects. Yeah, I mean, he's cool. I kind of wish he had a little bit more facial hair, because I think doesn't he rock the goatee now? But it's kind of
a little bit of a goatee. Okay.
He's got a little bit of facial hair on the thing. No, but it's a great, like Hasbro's been killing it with the likenesses over the last few years with the digital face print. Like, I think I said this on the last episode. Mm-hmm. I only collect MCU Marvel Legends. I'm not a big comics Marvel Legend collector.
Yeah.
So, like, although that said, I'm starting to cut back on the Marvel Legends collection just because it's too much. Like, you can kind of see to the side of my shelf. Like,
they're piling up.
Don't stay in. Yeah, exactly. They pile, especially like 2-packs I've been getting. I've actually sold a few as well.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, just like it's too much, and I don't have the same display space that you have, because I have to consolidate. Yeah. And my Marvel shelf, it's like lately what I do is, and I'll move to the side. I just spotlight whatever the most recent movie is, because like for a while I had the Black Panther, I had all of like Wakanda in the front. Now I got Love and Thunder and Doctor Strange in the front. I think, what's the next Marvel thing coming out? It might be Ant-Man.
Wakanda Forever. I believe
Wakanda Forever. I might bring the Dora Milaje back out and put Black Panther back out front.
I love how you do that too. You kind of transition per, like, Yeah,
it's like the Macy's window, right? Where they seasonal swap out the window display. That's what I do.
So I pulled it out. Overall, I love the posability of the head, the arms. You can do quite a bit of maneuverability there. I'm gonna bring it up on the camera. Actually, let me bring it to my smaller camera down here. You'll see it in the final edit. So yeah, I can see what you're saying in the head sculpt. You get a little bit of some facial. He's got a little bit of a that hair underneath the bottom lip.
Soul patch.
Yeah, that's the soul patch. That's what I was looking for. But looks like Wong. Looks like our guy Benedict Wong.
But and I know this is AAPI Toy Heroes, and like we said, Strange should have been Asian American. But what's cool about the blast effects is that if you have Doctor Strange and Wong, you can do the whole, like, you wanted more from the end of Endgame. You can do that.
That's right. I dig that. What do you think about the bottom torso portion? It is kind of weird that there's this, it's part of his garb, but like the maneuverability though on the legs.
Yeah, that's the thing about Marvel Legends. They don't use a lot of soft goods. So
yeah,
characters that have like trench coats or any kind of like long tunic, it does get in the way of the articulation. So for example, like, Marvel Legends are known for their points of articulation, but because of the tunic, his leg only goes back this far.
Yeah, you can't do much of a standing motion with it. Well, you can only do standing motions. You can't.
Yeah, you really can't get too dynamic with a lot of the figures. And and this is the problem with a lot of what like Hasbro does with they become traffic cones in a sense, right? Like they just they don't make the plastic that maneuverable either. It's very stiff plastic.
Yep.
So like, and I kind of get it. Like soft goods is not cheap to produce, I guess, especially at this scale. But I mean, other companies that have much more expensive product and will give you the soft goods.
We were talking earlier. So I'd rather take this over them doing what the McFarlane Superpowers line that we discussed earlier, where they're putting a hole through the cloth and leaving a big
we can talk about McFarlane. I mean, I still prefer Hasbro's whole like setup to the McFarlane, because I do have a few McFarlane figures of their like, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I have all of the Justice League characters. I have all of the characters from the Batman. I need to go to my mailbox. Just arrived today. I got 3 of the Black Adam figures.
Oh, you did?
I got Black Adam, Dr. Fate, and Hawkman. So I need to open those up. But again, I'm not a huge fan of the McFarlane style, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah,
there's some I dig, but yeah, I see your point in a lot of it, and was really, and we discussed this before we started filming this earlier, y'all. The Superpowers line. I was always a huge fan of the OG Superpowers line, and now they have the launch.
Yeah, I think episode 0. Didn't you open up like your old Justice League?
Yeah, I did.
You had the Hall of Justice or whatever, didn't you?
Yeah, well, it's not exactly. It was a carrying case that they had together with that. And I picked up when we were off camera. I was telling Keith. Yeah, Keith picked up the vehicles. The vehicles are pretty tight, but also somewhat defective.
Well, should I tell the story?
Go ahead, tell the defective story. Yeah.
So, this McFarlane came out with 2 Superpowers vehicles. The Supermobile, which is, for those of you who are too young to remember, this is an actual thing. I had the diecast little Matchbox Supermobile with the punching arms, because people are like, why does Superman need a Supermobile? Well, he had one in the 70s, all right? But I did not. Well, let me take that back. I picked up the McFarlane Superpower Superman, but I didn't open it because I didn't actually like the figure itself, particularly since I have the original 84 Superman.
So much better.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm just gonna stick my old Superman in here, and he looks great. Like,
yeah,
he looks perfect. And one of the reasons I didn't want to open up the Superman that I got is, one, like, it's kind of cool to have superpowers on card just because it's got that old school feel. But the other reason is that, as Kuya was alluding to, the cape is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
They use like a ribbon material, so it doesn't kind of lay the way that the old school capes do, where it's like really nice cloth. And the other problem is that they put one of those plastic tags through the cape to hold it into the package. So the only way to get the cape out the package is to cut a hole in the cape to get the tag off. And then because it's a ribbon material, that hole is like gigantic. And so I was like, I don't even want to deal with that. So I'm gonna just leave him on card.
Yeah. And
display him that way. And then just keep playing with my old school Superman, who's got the cool cape.
Yep.
And still does the action feature, because
and they don't even have the action feature.
Yeah, they don't do the action feature.
That's honestly kind of whack.
The scale's a little off, because if you look at it, I think the McFarlane one is a little big.
Oh, it's bigger
to the old school. So I know we were talking before we started recording that you're interested in the Jon Stewart because they didn't make Jon Stewart back in the day.
That is my worry. Yeah.
My worry is that if you line him up, though, he might be too big for the other superpowers.
Yeah. Now I'm reconsidering.
That's my thing with the.
You got me reconsidering now with the height issue. Ugh. Yeah,
it might not be too bad with Jon Stewart though. He might be okay.
But Superpower is always a big fan and happy that it's out. But then seeing it in person, because my Walmart has a plethora of them. I was thinking about scooping all of that first line up. Wasn't sure about the vehicles with the exception of the Batwing. But then hearing your Batwing story.
So let me tell the Batwing story.
Yeah.
So I like being on the show. I can air my grievances.
Let's go.
The other Superpowers vehicle that McFarlane put out was this Batwing, which, you know, like on the surface, is kind of cool. It looks just like something that they would have put out back in the 80s. It goes with the Batmobile like really well. Mm-hmm. I didn't even pick up the Batman though, not even on card, because I already have the old school Batman.
The head looks goofy to me. I don't know. The head was
it's trying to be a Jim Lee Batman, but it's just not translating into the style.
Yeah.
But the problem with this Batwing, as cool as it looks on the surface, and I don't have the Batman that's inside is the old Keaton 89 Batman from the Dark Knight collection by Kenner. This is the fourth Batmobile. This is the fourth Batwing that I've had to purchase, because the first one I purchased it online. And when it arrived, it was cool. I opened it, and as soon as I opened it, the cockpit broke. And I was like, well, that sucks. So let me take it back to the Walmart and get a new one. And instead of exchanging it, what I did is I returned it, got my money back, and went to the toy aisle, and then picked it up and went to check it out. And then at the checkout, it said it rang up $29.99. And I was like, well, that's weird because I only paid $19.99 online. And so I took it to the customer service. I was like, hey, can you match the online price? And she was like, no, we can't. You have to, if you want it for that price, you have to buy it online. So I was like, but I'm holding it in my hand. Can you just give me this price? They said, no, you can buy it online and then come back and pick it up, like curbside pick it up. And I'm like, well, fine, whatever. Let me save $10. And I did that. So I put the toy back down, purchased it online, and it was going to come back at noon to pick it up. So it's getting close to noon. All of a sudden, I get an email from Walmart. We've canceled your order. The item is sold out. Stock is gone. And I'm like, what? I was holding it in my hand this morning. So I said, fuck this. Went back to the store. Saw it was still there. So I don't know what happened. Picked it up, took it to customer service, and was like, look, I want this item. I tried to do what you told me, and it said it was gone. So give me this price. And then when I looked at the phone, the price was now $59.99. I was like, wait, what? Turns out it got sold out online, and now a third-party seller was selling it for triple the price. So I'm like, this is crazy making at this point. Finally said, whatever, I'll pay $30 for it. Took it home. Shit broke again.
Wild.
And it did that 2 more times, and I was like, one, I ain't paying $30 for a broke toy, so let me return it, get another one. Finally got the last, and I did some research online, like everybody's having the same problem. So it turns out what's the problem is that the plastic that they use on the cockpit is too weak for the spring, because you're supposed to push this bat symbol and it springs open, but the spring is too powerful, so it's snapping the plastic in half. So the only way to do it is to like be real gentle with the cockpit, so it opens very slowly. And this is only the third time I've opened.
I'm counting times. Don't break it, bro.
And it's only for you that I'm opening it. And like, as you can see, I got the old school Iron Winch Batman inside. Yeah. Don't need the McFarlane one. He looks great in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Looks awesome.
But yeah, it was such a hassle just to get this fucking toy in my hands.
Yeah. That's nuts, dude. But yeah, I was looking forward to it when there was announcements and all that. And then I saw it in person. I was ready. I'm gonna buy them all. But then I like looked at it a little bit, and I'm like, "What the fuck is up with the cape?" It's like the packaging in the packaging. It's somewhat off.
Yeah, it's not
like that looked weird as hell. And then just looking at the figures themselves, they just, I don't know. They looked kind of hokey to me. And then it didn't have no action movement like the old ones did. Not that I needed that. It's just kind of.
It's just going to sit in the Supermobile anyway, right?
Yeah, but. The sculpt itself, it really came down to the sculpt, and the sculpt just kind of looked hokey to me. And I just
old school sure. Superman is just like, it's not, you can't beat it.
Outstanding. The old school one. It's the best.
Look at that.
Hell yeah. I completely agree. There we go. Just outstanding, dude. Just
not bad for a 40-year-old figure, right?
Not bad at all, dude. So like the best figure to me, the best figures as a kid growing up as a kid, and I love the Secret Wars on the Marvel side, even though they were kind of weirdly all shaped rubbery, but just cool. Those were just like my favorite toys growing up. So
I mean, these are legendary figures, man.
Legendary, dude. So yeah, I was all hyped to get those, and they kind of let me down. But I'm contemplating the John Stewart Green Lantern because we didn't have him there back then. But then you got me now rethinking again because you said height wise that they're different. So I don't know.
I mean, like I said, just looking at it, they seem a little big compared to the old ones. I mean, it's definitely, I don't know. I mean, give it a shot. They're only $10, the figures.
Yeah, and price wise, absolutely. Yeah, I was gonna buy the whole, first 4 figures, right? Yeah, there's 4 figures.
It's Darkseid, Batman, Superman, and John Stewart.
Exactly. And then
some people are finding Wave 2. Wave 2 is Flash. And for some reason, Todd loves the fucking Batman Who Laughs, which is the Joker Batman mashup character from I think Dark Knight Batman.
They automatically
Dark
put
Knight
him
Metal
in already.
Yeah, he's in the wave 2 of the superpowers. That's so stupid.
What? I didn't even look up wave 2 yet. Who else do they have? Who is it? Another
Flash? 4? No, it's just I think it's technically Jon Stewart's part of wave 2. So it's like Jon Stewart, Flash, and Batman Who Laughs. Yeah, Todd just loves that design, I think, because he's like, he just announced a new line of Mortal Kombat figures.
Yeah,
but like none of the figures are from, like there's a Cabal, but then the other 2 in the wave is Spawn. All right, and Batman Who Laughs. I'm like, if I'm a Mortal Kombat fan, I'm like,
come on, yeah. Well, he runs the show, so
that's his thing. Yeah, I mean,
what it is.
It is what it is.
But all right. So superpowers.
Totally sorry to derail.
Oh no, hey,
no Asian Americans in the superpowers line just yet.
And that was actually, going to be a question. Who do you think? We'll stay there real quick. Who do you think if they do? I'm trying to think who would be the first API toy hero on the superpowers line that would.
Well, I mean, the old ones had
the fast guy,
the Japanese dude. What's his name?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah,
the one with the win. Samurai.
Yes.
They had Samurai in the superpowers line. And then Steppenwolf was Asian in the old school.
Yeah. I had Steppenwolf too. Actually, I still have Steppenwolf in that case.
Yeah.
I think the arm was broken off though.
Yeah. So Steppenwolf is technically an Asian character. But I mean, if we're talking about like the new ones, I mean,
we'll get a Katana maybe?
Katana, probably. She's probably the most like, multimedia character that's out. Yeah. Maybe what's his name? The Ryan Choi Adam, maybe.
You know what? There was one I was thinking besides Katana, and that was it, but I couldn't pull it. So would you like to see that?
Maybe a Cassie Kane, like if we had a Cassandra Kane Batgirl. But I mean, who are the prominent Asian superheroes on the DC side right now?
That's very true too.
I mean, Damien's kind of Asian, I guess.
Yeah.
Ra's al Ghul. I
can see Cassandra Kane Batgirl coming more so because they like to keep it, they like to pull out characters from the Superman Batman side of things because they know that'll kind of sell.
Well, and also like there's a new preschool cartoon coming out called Bat Wheels, where
really?
it's like preschool. It's kind of like PJ Masks kind of style.
Yeah.
But it's all Batman. It's basically the Bat vehicles become sentient. They're like turns into like cars. And so the Batmobile has a personality, the Batwing and everything. But the human characters in the show is, first of all, Ethan Hawke is Batman, so that's kind of cool.
Interesting.
But then the Robin is Duke Thomas Robin, so it's the Black Robin. And then the Batgirl is Cassandra Kane Batgirl, so it's the
dope
Asian Batgirl. So so like that's kind of cool. Like the Batgirl and the Robin are POC on the show. So
I dig that.
If that becomes like the popular for kids thing, maybe you'll see a Cassandra Kane.
Got you. So all right, yeah, I'm curious with this whole superpowers line. Thinking about again picking up characters that are not there because I'm let down by the remixes of Superman and Batman. But I was thinking API toy hero wise, who would I like to see? And I would probably pick up a Ryan Choi Adam and Cassandra Kane Batgirl and the new Katana. I'd be very interested in that. But before we get to you pulling the Jacob Batalon Ned out the box, final verdict. I want to say, actually, we didn't do it last episode. I don't know if we did like a rating counts on the figures, but I'm thinking for me, Shang-Chi that we did in episode 1 is in a 10-point scale. I'm gonna give it an 8 because I would have liked the rings that we kind of talked about because it's called Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings. I would have liked that feature, even though Wang Wu character has it on them. I would have liked to maybe switch out the arms or add that accessory to give that character that, because that's what he inherits and that's what the whole film was about. So I would have that to me.
Even at least like an act like similar to this, give it so that you can like attach to the arms so they look like they're like shooting out. That would have been dope. Yeah, exactly. Then you could recreate that scene with him and his dad with the
they missed out on some money there because I would have gave them all the money for that. So that's gonna take away some points there for them. So I'm
sure there's some third party folks can 3D print that for you.
There you go. So I'm gonna give Shang-Chi an 8 And then with that being said, episode 2, we're talking about Wong. Before we get to my man Keith opening up Ned, what do you think? What would you give Wong for yourself?
I mean, Wong just on the basis of Wongers having a moment right now, he's a 10 out of 10. Mainly because, and you don't have it on your figure. Like, I do like the magic effects.
I think
that's a cool
I'm
look.
gonna
That's
definitely switch out the hands for that. Yeah,
that's how I have him on display, because it's, you know, like the way it catches the light, it's really cool. And like I said, ever since the first Doctor Strange movie, I've been wanting a Wong figure, and I'm glad they held off, because, you know, back in 2016 they didn't implement the digital print yet, so like the face prints were not as crisp as they are now. So I'm glad that they waited. I actually like this look on Wong better than the bald head look in the first movie. He's got some hair on his head now. He looks a little bit more fleshed out. And this is his Sorcerer Supreme look. This is what he looks like as the Sorcerer Supreme. Yeah. So I like that too. So yeah, I'm glad they waited on him. I'm glad we finally got him. Speaking of, you know, other Asian American MCU figures, we are getting a Jimmy Woo figure coming up.
Oh yeah, I think I do recall hearing that.
The next wave
I'm excited for that
of Marvel Legends. So that's on its way.
A 10 for you?
I'm gonna give him a 10, just
even though he can't move the legs.
Because I don't care. I mean, I don't. I got him in a static pose with the magic, and it's like I said, it's just because he's Wongers, man. He's Wongers. Now we need a Madison. Oh my god, I didn't even
notice the for them to open up the portals. That accessory,
the sling ring. Yeah, he's got a sling ring on the side. Yeah,
it's right on the side of you know what? That's ugh. All right. And I don't know if this was featured. So like is this a particular weapon that he used in there? It's different than the costume, you know, because like this one arm has like these white wraps. But what is this? I'm curious if there's probably in like a art book for Doctor Strange. They'll probably explain, you know, that feature on his costume. I don't know if it's like another, you know, because, you know, Doctor Strange has the Eye of Agamotto. There's all these kind of different things. It could have some meaning. I'm curious. Anyway, I'm giving it the leg thing kind of has me. It's a beautiful figure. It is a dope figure. It's just that takes away posability. And because I've also been considering since the last episode, since we last talked, Keith, about getting into maybe some adding to the list of things I do and where is there time is maybe doing some action photography. That making me think about this takes away from it because I'm now limited with certain poses. So I would have liked maybe a cloth version of this bottom wrap below, you know, but then it probably wouldn't have looked as beautiful as this does look. But so I'm gonna give it a 7. I gave Shang-Chi a 8. I'm gonna give this a 7.
I like this more.
Still a dope figure.
I feel like the Shang-Chi figure is boring. That's why I don't really like that figure that much, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm not grading it on like.
I will say this looks better than the Shang-Chi figure. You know what? I'm gonna flip it. I will give Shang-Chi a 7, and I will give this the 8. I'm gonna flip it because then look. I
didn't know you were so persuadable.
Well, you're making me reconsider. It is somewhat boring on the Shang-Chi. I
think we talked about this. I think we talked about it on that episode. I think that's partly the problem with that movie in general, is that the design, the production design, of that movie, I wasn't a fan of.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't love his costume, his superhero. Like, I think I've said this too. Like, if you're going to give me a Marvel Legends Shang-Chi figure, I'd rather have him in his street clothes because I feel like that was a better look than that whack ass.
The scene on the bus, like, give me a cool, superposable figure of him in that outfit on the bus scene. Hell yeah!
Yeah, that's a way cool. I mean, and like Shang-Chi has like, he doesn't have an iconic comic book design, right?
That too.
Yeah, I mean, other than like being shirtless and
I don't like this. It reminds me of the quick kick figure, right? And I wasn't a big fan. It's too close to Bruce Lee. If I want a figure that's like that I'm gonna get a Bruce Lee figure, you know.
Well, and the thing is, like, they for a while there, when they were doing the whole thing of Shang-Chi as this like international spy, he had this cool, like, similar to Bruce Lee, this cool black and red like jumpsuit tracksuit thing.
That actually I would prefer.
I wish they did that somehow into the live action. I mean, the fact that they made him more mystical when in the comics he's just like He's a regular dude who's good at kung fu, you know. And I kind of get it. They had to give him like superpowers and shit, but
yeah.
I mean, to me, Shang-Chi was the Asian American Iron Fist because, like, his Iron Fist is the one with like the mystical powers you get from a dragon, not Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
So they just took all that stuff, you know, like they literally had him, you know, visit the heart of a dragon and get his superpowers, you know. Yeah. I was like, all right, this is the AA Iron Fist I asked for. Be careful what you ask for, I guess, right?
All right, man. So yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. So Wong, for y'all keeping tabs on how we're gonna do this for future episodes. Keith convinced me. I think Shang-Chi in a 10-point scale is 7. And I think I'm gonna give Wong the 8.
But it's also what do you want out of your
medium?
But what do you want out of your toys, right? Like, because I agree, you want that posability, like the articulation is unencumbered on Shang-Chi.
Yes.
I just feel like the figure overall is a boring figure. That's all.
I want unencumbered. I love that we got optional hands. That with like how toys are now compared to in the past. I love that we get other additional accessories. You know, give us a weapon, give us additional hands that you can do superposability stuff. Like what I'm thinking is if I finally like spend the money, is those like Super 7 I forgot the name of the brands, but you know those Hot Toys type stuff where you get really articulation and different heads and different stuff. To me, those are 10s with these Marvel Legends and Hot that Toys, we're opening.
Well, Hot Toys cost $400. So that's kind of like where I'm putting my scale at, right?
To me, I consider Hot Toys a 10 and a 9. These Marvel Legends, somewhat close, will be like an 8, 7, 5.
Well, but then Marvel Legend costs you $20. A Hot Toy costs you $400. So like,
and that's why it's at such a 7 and 8. Because then really it'd be a 5 or a 4.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
no, I mean, and the thing is, these 6-inch scale figures have come a long way. Like I said, if this came out when the first Doctor Strange came out, it would not be this dynamic figure. Just in turn, because the thing that I like, articulation is important, but it's not the most important thing for me. I think I like character likeness. I like
same, yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
the face paint.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't look like the figure, I don't care about it. You know, I like the figures that look like. I mean, that's what's kind of amazing that for a $20 figure, like look at that. Look at the way the light catches.
Yeah.
You know, like you can still get some dynamic photos from this figure.
Yeah.
So yeah, shall we move on?
Let's go, man. You got it.
Well, this is another mystical sorcerer, because remember from No Way Home,
exactly.
Ned,
he needs his own ring, and then all of that. But I'm psyched, and I'm curious for both of us. This is the first time opening something up out of a package we can't see.
Yeah, so you can't see. This is like a blind box, basically.
Yeah.
You don't know what it looks like. So here we go. I'll try to get this on camera as much as possible. I cut the tape off already, so I didn't have to do that on camera. So that's all right. That's what it looks like inside. It's gonna be all cardboard, no plastic. So
save the earth. I feel that there's just something to be said though when you can't see it. That's my only concern. So here we go. Oh, and they're wrapped. So it's still somewhat of a mystery. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, look at that's kind of creepy looking, actually.
Yeah. All right.
There's a little back. It looks like a Chinese takeout. Like soy. This is like my soy sauce and my wonton chips.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, it's okay. This is interesting. He's packed. Okay. All right. Hold on. It shouldn't be this difficult. But they packed Ned.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I'm doing it off camera. I'm not
all good. All good. Yeah,
so I don't want you to mess up. I'm gonna put Peter to the side because we don't care about Peter.
Not right now. Mad love to you, Tom Holland. But yeah, it's all about Ned right now. It's all about Jacob Batalon.
Jacob's, remember in the first movie, he puts on the Spider-Man mask. So that's what it looks like on the back of the box. And what's interesting is that he's packed in the box with his Spider-Man mask on.
What? Okay, that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
So where's his? So I guess this soy sauce packet is
the backpack, I'm assuming. And
with his backpack and his other head. So let's see what the. Oh, it's a
decapitated
notebook.
What is that?
I think it's Peter. Peter has a journal in his hand.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna just rip it. I guess I'm not putting them back in the box. I thought I would just put them back in the box, but I guess I'm gonna leave them out.
Is it too difficult?
Yeah, because it's just like the bag's all ripped now.
Oh, gotcha.
And then the way it's packed, it's fine. You got Tom's head.
Okay.
2 fists. So I guess Ned doesn't have extra hands. Only Peter does, because the shade on the hand.
Yeah.
Not match the shade of
yeah, different skin type.
Different skin tone. But we do have Jacob Batalon head.
There we go. Good likeness. Yeah. Totally got the hairstyle in there.
Let me stick him on.
While you're doing your thing, did you see the recut, the added re-release?
I did not. Did you?
Yeah, I caught a good portion of it because I went to see Beast. There we go. While my daughter caught it with her friends, so I didn't want to be the dad and there's my dad over there with a bunch of her girls. So I caught a good chunk of it. But yeah, interesting. But there we go. Look at Ned. Yeah, getting a little
trying to get the focus.
Yeah, trying to get the focus. It's all good. But looks good. How posable. There we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally.
Look at that dramatic lighting.
Likeness. Yeah.
No, I mean he's got all the standard Marvel Legends posing. His arms go out.
Go pretty high. Legs good on that too.
He's got he can kick his own ass.
There we go.
So you get 90 on it's single joint elbows, but you get kind of 90-degree angle. His wrists go.
Paint looks good. Everything
good paint. Like his skin tone's a little dark. I don't think Jacob Batalon is this dark.
Yeah.
He's a little brown, like almost like burnt sienna. He's not.
Yeah.
Like the skin tone's a little artificial looking.
Gotcha. Does the jean he's wearing jeans got like a good denim color look?
Yeah, it's like almost like a gray jeans.
Okay.
But I also appreciate the different body size.
Yeah. It totally looks like
And then, like I said, it comes with the backpack.
Sweet.
It just slides on, I think. Oh yeah, it's actually really. I was thinking, do you have to like take his arms off or anything? But you just kind of it's pretty malleable plastic, so you can just slide it on.
Wow.
And then
there's
sweet. The high school. Yeah. You got yourself a little high school.
Yeah.
The super future hobgoblin.
Yeah, if they will ever do that, I'm curious.
I doubt it.
Yeah, looks good. I definitely need to add that to the collection. Definitely.
I mean, he's the only Filipino.
Exactly. One of the big reasons I need to add him to the collection.
Shit, they need to come out with Lola.
Yeah. Oh, right. and so going back to the cut version, there's added scenes within that I saw. Yeah, they just kind of extended some stuff out, but yeah, that looks wonderful. Looks absolutely wonderful.
And then again, you can swap out the head with the Spider-Man head on.
So what? Again, I have started getting back into toys with this show. With now these toys that you can pop things in and out. It's being old guy myself, and not having that capability in the day. Although I did do it with my Joes. Any fear when you're popping stuff off and on? Is it easy to do that? Are you very careful?
Yeah. I mean, actually, one of the cool things, as long as the head, the peg fits the head, like sometimes you can get a better figure by swapping your head out with somebody else, right? So like that's they're designed to like swap heads out like that. So the only issue, like I said, sometimes the pegs don't match up with the different heads.
Yeah.
If you're trying to put like a different Batman head on a different Batman figure. I just lost this. Hold on,
no worries.
The carpet monster just ate his Spider mask.
one of my apprehensions though is just that fact to mess up the figure itself, the ball joint, popping things off and on, the collector in me, and I guess the being just mindful of that. Don't want to harm the figure in that action, so try to stick around with it and not switch.
So you're not a kit basher or customizer when it comes to.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to like adapt, and again, when I start doing like figure photography with these things and have some fun with it, but just something that came to mind. So Ned looks good. I'm definitely gonna.
Hey, I mean, like I said, you just need to get you. I mean, particularly again, what are you looking for in a figure? He's not the most dynamic figure, right? He's a teenager with a backpack.
Yeah.
But like if your thing is accuracy to the character, I mean, he looks just like a little mini Jacob Batalon. He's got the digital.
I agree completely. Without opening it, having it myself. If I'm giving my number ranking, y'all, for those keeping tabs, again, I'm giving Wong an 8, Shang-Chi's a 7. I think I'm gonna give Ned here our first bigger number, even though it's not a hot toy like we talked about a second ago. For what we want out of a Ned figure like this, that's a definite 9, 10 right there. But I'm gonna go with a 9. I'm gonna take away a point because, hey, maybe give us some other facial feature type figures like the Hot Toys does, or other hands. It does give us a Spider-Man mask, which is a definite plus, because who would have expected that? That's kind of cool and a good nod.
It would be dope if he came with a mini Lego Death Star. That would be cool.
There you go. Another reason why it's a 9. Another reason why it's a 9, because that would have been perfect.
What else? I mean, because this is technically from Homecoming. Or the hat. Didn't he wear a fedora when he went to the party?
I don't know. I can't.
Oh no, he should have come with a chair. Because he's Spider-Man's guy in a chair. He should have had his own little like rolling chair, so he could sit in.
That. But a definite 9. So if you're keeping tabs at home as we knock out more of these episodes, that's the rating. I'm gonna definitely give that a 9. What would you say for your own personal thing?
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, my thing is character likeness, and he looks just like a little mini.
So a 10 for you?
Why not?
Yeah.
And like I said, he's the first Filipino figure. You need to get him. I told you need to pick up the Batista. Oh, Drax. Drax is your first Filipino figure in the Marvel Legends line.
Oh, yeah, but I don't have him yet on the show. So I definitely got to cop him. And you were saying and gave me the pro tip. This will probably
last I saw the ultimate Batista from the WWE line is on clearance at Target.
And I'm going to be heading there after we're done with this episode, y'all. So watch out for me. But yeah, and then I saw recent releases on those wrestling figures. We're getting a Shotzi Blackheart. I don't know if you're familiar with her, Keith, but she's a Filipino wrestler at WWE. So another figure I have my eyes on that I plan to cop and hopefully have up and open up on the show. But dude, thank you for sharing, man. So in regards to us not seeing figures, since this is your first time opening it, do you feel somewhat better? How do you still feel about that?
Yeah, it's still weird. Like, I mean, like ultimately, like I said, the paint, there were no real issues. Like, I probably would have chosen this one if I saw it in the store. I mean, I get it. Like, environmentally, it's better to have just cardboard. Yeah. But to not know what's in there,
the great unknown.
And the fact, like, my thing, like, what's troubling is that this is so easily swappable. What? I could literally put 2 other figures in here, sink that shit back in the box, and return it, and no one would be none the wiser. At least with like, because people still figure swap even with window packaging, right? Yeah. But as a buyer, as a collector, you can see right away, like, oh, that figure doesn't belong in there, and not buy it. Yeah. But with the windowless packaging, you don't know until you bring it home. Scary. And then you gotta like just the extra hassle of returning it if you open something that's been swapped. But I mean, again, that depends on where you live. Like I'm sure you have your neighborhood is full of honest brokers that don't figure swap.
They call Woodbridge Hoodbridge, dude. So I don't know. But I'm still nervous about it. But it's kind of cool, and I think you scored on at least on this run.
Well, let me just while we're here, let me just make sure Tom Holland is
Oh yeah.
And now I feel bad because I had a long time ago. See again how all those 2-packs are piling up. I had the MJ and Peter 2-pack that came out a couple years ago.
Oh,
it's the one with Spider-Man with the Letterman's jacket.
Oh,
and then a Zendaya figure. And I never took it out, and then I was like, let me just get rid of it. I sold it.
Oh,
but now that
nice to have the
now that I got these guys, I'm now missing MJ. I wish I still had the MJ.
Oh, was he already packaged with the backpack on?
Yeah, his backpack's already on.
Oh, interesting. Is it removable?
That's a good Tom Holland figure. That's a good Tom Holland head.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Look at that.
Looks good.
Hold on. How do you get there?
There it is. Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh yeah. It's a good looking figure. Is the backpack
it looks like he's diving though, right?
Yeah, at the moment.
No, it's not
removable like the other one, or is it
it's a little like the strap.
That looks a little tight.
Smaller.
That looks
it might be a little bit harder to get off. So that's probably why he's packed in with them.
Yeah.
Ned's got like these real long straps, so you can and they're not as flexible.
I wouldn't try to
I'm sure you could get it off though if you tried.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't risk damaging it. Yeah, dude. Looks great. Definitely that net.
What's cool about having this extra Tom Holland head is I can go grab one of my Spider-Man figures maybe.
Oh.
And then now have an unmasked Spider-Man.
Dude.
That's the other head.
Perfect. Yeah. That makes complete sense. That's kind of cool. Another nod to collectors out there, that are curious what to do with those extra heads.
But now I wish I kept the MJ. I have to go find a loose Zendaya figure on eBay just to get
there we go. Yeah.
Because now we're missing.
You got to have your display ready. You got to have them all together. Dude, thank you for sharing, man. Thank you for opening it up. That looks great. Definitely gonna add that to my collection as well. Excited. And now and has the best rating now on the AAPI Toy Hero scale with a 9.
You know what? The other reason why he's a 10 is because if you think about it, like his other accessory is Peter Parker. He comes with Peter Parker. Me,
personally, when I do buy
you only buy it for Ned, and now you get a bonus Peter Parker.
Yes. I love it. Ned, thank you, dude. Opening up the Spider-Man Homecoming version of the Marvel Legends Ned. And then again, Wongers. We need a Madison accessory.
We need a Madison
accessory for real. And if you're not watching Shioko Attorney at Law because you're listening to idiot fanboys, don't check it out. It's great. I love that show currently right now. And we got Wongers, man. And this is, again, an 8 for me only because I want to be able to do stuff because I'm going to get into photography, wanted to do more. But it's still a super dope figure and a lot of posability.
So are you going to put all your Asian figures like on the shelf together? Like
I'm working on it. I'm actually... True story. So as you see in my display behind me, I have a bunch of the 3 3/4 inch Marvel Universe figures, over there. I'm actually going to clear them all out. I'm going to sell them all. I may keep a few, but I'm getting rid of it because I need space. There's not too much space I have in here. So I may add some shelving to put my AAPI Toy Hero line. So when people watch the shows I do, they can check it out.
It's not just like Marvel shilling in the back, right?
It's probably still going to be Marvel shilling, but with an AAPI slants.
Hey, that's racist.
Hey, it's just.
You said AAPI slant. Come on, man.
Oh, I didn't. That's a good one. You're sharp. You are sharp. I didn't mean it like that.
No, it's funny because the thing is, like, when I was in college, I started an Asian American student group.
Yeah,
we put out a newsletter called Slant. Because we just thought that was, ironic and funny.
Wow. If only we can do that. Outside of that, then I would have noticed. Dude, Keith, brother, thank you for, again, coming through. I'm
basically your co-host on this podcast.
Right? So far. I've been meaning to get some other people that are fans and friends. But I appreciate you always coming through. And you're always welcome back to talk toys with me, Dan, because we both have that affinity. You're the one that helps drive it again a little bit. You're always influencing me in my life, Keith, for some reason. But how can people check you out?
I don't want that responsibility.
How can they check you out and everything, brother?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at the real Chow, the _real_Chow. And I'm on Instagram at Real Keith Chow, and the Nerds of Color is at the Nerds of Color on all platforms. You can just go to hardknockmedia.com. That's Hard Knock NOC as in Nerds of Color to get all the podcasts. And yeah, just hit me up. The My Toy podcast is called Shelf Conscious, and you can find that on Twitter at ShelfCon NOC, and that's where I talk about toys too. So thank you as always, brother Kuya P. That's redundant, brother Kuya P. brother. And I'm always happy to talk toys. And you got me to open this box that's been sitting in the back of my shelf for a couple months now. So,
dude, I gotta order that. I thought it was out yet, so now I gotta put my order in and cop that, and then make my way over to Target to pick up this Batista figure. So, I'm about to say Dave because Dave Batista, but Keith, bro, appreciate you as always. I know you're gonna be back because we're gonna definitely talk toys. Always happy to have you on and talk things with you, man. And dude, continue to rocking and rolling, doing what you do, man. Always appreciate you, bro. Everybody, my man Keith Chow, give him all the love, follows, everything. For me, it's the Legend Kuya P, Twitter, TikTok, and IG. Of course, ShoPowSho and NRW, the NRW and New Release Wednesday. Because again, nerds rule the world. We're also the Nerds of Color. Mad love to my brother Keith, repping all the time. Check out Hard Knock Live. Check out Shelf Conscious. And soon, my episode with him that facilitated finally this recording.
I don't know which is going to come out first. That
episode.
One or this?
We'll see.
It'll be
Southern
a race.
Fried Asians, and of course, shout out to Ned taking the throne, at least for AAPI Toy Heroes, as the best toy hero, AAPI Toy Hero thus far. Let's go. We're out, Wongers and Ned. We out. AAPI Toy Heroes. Much love.